Over the last 3 years of running this brand, I've spent over $3.3 million on Facebook ads alone. And because of that, I've been able to do days like this. Today, over $109,000 in sales. And if I go to the last 30 days, we'll see we are just under 1.3 million. And in today's video, I'm gonna teach you probably the most important thing I learned about Facebook ads over the last 3 years to be able to do days like this. And it comes down to two things. There's actually only 2 ways to scale a Facebook ad account. And in this video, I'm gonna walk you through that. So hopefully you can take it, use it to scale your own brand and not have to go spend hundreds of thousands of dollars unprofitably to learn what I had to do the hard way. So there are only 2 ways to scale a Facebook ad account. And knowing what the focus is, whether you're on stage 1 or stage 2 of this, is really key to finding the big wins in your ad account. Now, I'll walk you through both individually, but first, there's 1, which is improve efficiency, and then 2, increase volume. These are the only 2 things you can do to scale your Facebook ad account, scale your Facebook ads, and then eventually, obviously, use that to scale your brand. Now, I'm gonna walk you through improve efficiency first, because this is what we always want to focus on first, and I'm gonna walk you through why. Improving efficiency means lowering your CPA, lowering your cost per purchase. Right, so if you currently have a $50 cost per purchase, how can we get that to a 45, to a 40, to a 35, right? That's what that means. Now, the reason why I want to do this first is because scaling comes as a byproduct of improving efficiency. For example, if we're spending $1,000 a day and we have a CPA of 100, we get 10 purchases a day, right? But if we lower CPA to 75, then we have 13.3 purchases per day. In other words, once again, we scaled without having to increase our budget. So by improving our efficiency, we're able to scale without even having to spend more on ads. And so because of that, right, because we lowered the efficiency, it means we increase our margin per purchase, which then allows us to reinvest that profit back into increasing the budget, right? Because if you don't spend more on ads, we're still spending $1,000 a day, right? But now our CPA dropped to 75. Well, we already scaled because now we're doing 13 purchases a day instead of 10, and we're more profitable. Now with that extra profit, let's say your profit margin went from 20% up to 25%, well now we can take that and reinvest that into ads to scale up until we're at that target again. So this is why we focus on efficiency, because you scale without touching budgets, and so then you can scale further. So each time you improve your efficiency, you get a lot of unrealized scale. Because once again, you improve efficiency, you already scaled. Well now you get to increase your budget, and now you're scaling even further. So you kind of could think of it of scaling twice there. You scale once by improving your efficiency, and then you continue scaling by then increasing your budget because now you have room to scale into. Okay, that's what, as a whole, improving efficiency means. And we always focus on this first because otherwise you end up in the same kind of loop that I used to be in, that everyone else is in, which you try to force scale your ad, try to increase budgets, it doesn't work. Right? You test more ads, you try increasing your budget, and it doesn't work. And you don't know why, right? But it's because you actually need to improve your efficiency before you're able to scale further. And when you focus on improving efficiency, scaling becomes so much easier because you just scale by default. You improve your efficiency, then you increase your budget, and you scale massively, right? If you could get your CPA down from $100 to, once again, in this example, $75, you have a lot of room to scale. So you already scaled, now you increase your budget, and now you're really scaling, right? And so how do we actually do this? Well, it comes from improving what's currently working in your ad account. I'm gonna break it down for you, so stay with me. The reason we do this is because it's much easier to improve something that's currently working than trying to find something completely new that works. So we want to test more of what's currently working, and so how we go about doing that. So here's an example. Now let's pretend this is your ad account or some ad account, right? You have you have 4 ads. Ad 1, you're spending about $5,000 on a day. Frequency is about 1.04. The CPA is 98. Ad 2, spend equals 1,000. Frequency 1.07. CPA 80. Ad 3, spend 700. Frequency 1.21, CPA is all the way up to 225 though, and ad 4, you're spending 300, frequency is 1.35, but it's coming out a very low CPA at 40, right? So in this scenario with these ads, let's pretend the target CPA is $100, and you're spending 100K per day, and spending 1K per day, and this is what the data looks like. Now what you have to realize here, right, looking at the frequency, ad 1 and ad 2 are more top of funnel ads. Ad 3 is more middle funnel, maybe slightly bottom of funnel, and ad 4 is very bottom of funnel. But it's doing its job. It's getting low spend, but a very good CPA. This is doing a pretty decent job, although it's a higher CPA right at the target, but it's getting a lot of the spend and giving us a lot of good new customers right below the target, about break even. But ad 3 is very middle funnel, but has a super, super high CPA. So if this is you and your ad account, well, what's the easiest way to improve the efficiency of your entire campaign? Well, we have a couple options. The first kind of more obvious option, if you will be ad 3. It means you have 2 decent top of funnel ads, you have 1 good bottom of funnel ad, but we need to improve the middle funnel ad. Because if we can find a better middle funnel ad that takes over this one, let's say it replaces it, right? Instead of the spend still being 700, frequency still the same, but instead the CPA goes from 225 and we find a better one, and even if it comes in, let's say, a 75, right? Slightly less than this top of funnel one, it's not getting as much spend, but it's doing a better job. Well, all of a sudden, our average CPA of the entire campaign dropped, and therefore we improved the efficiency of the campaign, so we already scaled, and now we can increase budget to the target again, right? That's one off. That's probably the first route I would take. Then secondly, well, you could say, well, I have 2 decent top of funnel ads, but what if I get a third good top of funnel ad that takes up majority of spend as well, and so Facebook has more assets to work with to spend more of a top of funnel budget to. And then instead of this one being at 5,000, maybe this drops to 3,000, right? This drops even to 500, and then your ad 5 that comes in at top of funnel as well comes in at the most spend, and maybe even a higher CPA. Right? These are all different routes we can take to improve the efficiency of the campaign. Now, something that's important to note here is we're not really looking, in terms of improving efficiency, we're not looking at specific single ads and trying to improve that efficiency. We're trying to figure out, well, what's the easiest path we can take to improve the efficiency or lower the CPA of the campaign as a whole, right? Even though this is the closest to the target and the highest CPA in this scenario, it may not be a bad thing because it's the top of funnel ad. It's going to have a higher CPA because it's driving a lot of new customers, and it's reaching a colder audience with higher to convert. Oftentimes those have a higher CPA, and that may not even be an issue, right? Because let's say your ad account maybe looks like this instead. Let's say you have something like this. You only have these 2 ads here, right? And this is coming in there, and let's say the CPA is at like, once again, your target's 100, it's like 125, and this bottom funnel ad's coming out of 40. It's not getting much spend, this one's getting all the spend, and this has a higher CPA than your target. Well, what you wouldn't want to do is turn it off because Facebook's spending to this. What you would want to do in this case is, once again, you're missing the middle funnel part of your funnel in this campaign. So you go test different concepts and ads to try and find a middle funnel ad that can take some of the spend from here at a lower CPA to lower the average CPA of the entire campaign. Hopefully you're following me here. So that's the first step, right? We're trying to improve the efficiency. Now, how do we actually get more specific in doing that? Well, we can do a lot of different things, right? We can test more hooks. We can make new versions of the script. We could change the B-roll / content we use. We could find new content from new creators. We could use studio content. We could use UGC content. We could use different creators, AI voiceovers, new ad formats, rewrite / reverse engineer competitors' ads, right? You could go take your best winning ads and rewrite them in a different way while keeping the core messaging the same. Or you can go take a competitor's ad that you think is working well or someone in your niche and rewrite that ad, but once again with the same messaging that's working for you. Or we could rewrite the same ad from a different perspective. We could test long form versus short form. It could be a 30-second ad, a minute 30, a 10-minute VSL, a 30-minute VSL. You can test all these different kinds of formats. You could test sending the ad to a pre-sale page. You can improve the AOV. You could test the offer, right? There's so many different things we can do to improve the efficiency of that desire or angle that's already currently working for us, right? So once again, if we have this ad and this ad, let's say these are all pretty decent, right? So now we're like, okay, well, how do we lower the CPA even further? Well, if this ad is crushing for us, it's getting most of the spend, whatever desire this is, whatever angle this ad is, how can we make better versions of it? And once again, there's almost infinite different variations you can test, combining all these different elements here to give Facebook another asset under the same desire or same angle because we know it works to lower the overall CPA of the campaign. That's the goal. So the point is, there's a lot you can do and endless variations to test. And the first step is always efficiency because, once again, you want to lower the CPA and you scale by default, and it's easier because you already know it's working. You're focusing on the same angle. You want to milk the shit out of what's working, right? Out-test everybody, test more, test everything. Focus on the angle / desire that is working and then double down because one broad desire will scale you massively. At the start here, I showed you today we did over 100,000, right, in sales. That's with only 2 main broad desires. Now, at some point, which we'll get into in step 2, under one angle or desire, you'll have to eventually find new concepts and different desires and different stages of awareness to capture more of your market. But one broad desire will scale you massively and a lot further than you think because there's a lot that you haven't done that you can do to improve the efficiency under that one desire, right? Most cases, you can scale the one broad desire much farther than you think by continuously improving efficiency on the front end and back end. Once again, the front end, test more hooks, new variations, new rewrites, change up the content, different avatars, different creators, AI, long form, short form, etc., all using the same desire. Then on the back end, we could send the ad to a pre-sale page to improve the conversion rate, right? We can improve the AOV, so we could spend more. We could test offers to improve the conversion rate or the AOV, or both. We could do all these things on the front end and back end to continue improving the efficiency on the desire angle that we know is currently working for us to really scale and ramp up our ad spend. So that is how you improve your efficiency, right? Then after you've improved your efficiency, you can increase your budget until you're back at the target. Then once you keep testing the same concepts and you can't find anything else that's working for you to improve the efficiency, this means you now need to test new concepts and angles to reach a new POC audience. And that's when we move over to step 2. So step 2 is increasing volume. Now, what does increasing volume actually mean? Well, increasing your budget and finding new winning angles and desires. We're increasing the volume of purchasers by scaling our budget, and subsequently, we're also increasing our volume of purchasers by tapping into a different segment of the audience, by using different content, messaging, avatars, etc., that attract different people from what our current ads are attracting. So we increase your budget once you're more efficient. Then once you can't get more efficient with the same concepts, test new concepts / angles to reach new POC audiences and different avatars. So how do we do this? Well, by writing down the different avatars for your product and brainstorming different angles, concepts that would attract different segments of the same market. So as an example, let's say we're selling a testosterone supplement. 2 avatars could be young men and old men. Under young men, you have different angles. The benefits could be get jacked. The desire could be get jacked. The desire could be get girls, more energy, feel powerful. For the old men, it could be improved sex drive, more energy, slow aging, sustained muscle, right? Very similar angles and messaging, but the desires are different for the different avatars. And note, the same concept can be used for both, but they would need to be portrayed differently, right? For example, getting jacked, right, could work for the older men too, but it would need a different creator, messaging hook, etc. that matches the avatar and their wants, pain points, and objections, right? If we have a young guy in the ad talking about, hey, if you're an old guy, you could get jacked, well, it's not going to relate to the old man as much as if you had an old guy in there portraying that message to that audience. And so this is actually how we crack into different segments of the market. It's not by testing different interests or getting specific with our targeting on Facebook. It's about using different messaging and content in our ads to attract those types of people into our funnel, right? You have to start thinking broader in terms of a full funnel approach to your Facebook ads versus let me just go target this age group, change my age targeting on this ad, but keep everything else the same. It's not going to work as good and you're not going to scale as well. So this is the approach you have to take. So when you put it all together, what does it look like? Well, you test to improve efficiency, you increase budget until you're at target. You test to improve efficiency, then you increase budget again. Then you improve efficiency and you increase budget. You do that over and over and over again until you're at massive scale. Then when you really, really milk the shit out of that one desire and you can't do it anymore, then you move to testing new concepts. Then when you find a new concept, you go back to this. You increase budget until you're at the target, improve efficiency on the new concept, increase budget, improve efficiency on it, increase budget. Then when you're really stuck again, well, you find a new concept, then you increase budget and you improve efficiency, and you can see it just goes round, around, and around. And this is all you need to focus on. And the key is you need to know what to focus on. For 80% of you watching, you're at improving efficiency. Because once again, 80% of the time, you will be doing this anyways. 20% of you, you're really doing the same thing. You're always doing iterations of the same concept. It's probably time to move on to a new desire concept to increase your volume, to then be able to go back and increase efficiency. Understanding this, although it may sound simple, has changed the game completely for us in Facebook ads. Because when we're looking at the ad account, I give a clear message to the team, right? The focus is improve efficiency, focus on the desires, these stages of awareness that are currently working for us, or the focus is increase volume. And those are 2 completely different paths that require different strategies and different ideas, and just different focus in general. And so you really need to know which one it is and not just be testing blindly and just throwing random shit into your ad account, creating random ads, hoping you're gonna scale, because it's not gonna work like that. You need to take a look at the ads that are currently live in the ad account, figure out what's the weakest point, what's the easiest thing to improve that would improve the efficiency of the entire campaign. Then test for that by using these different variations. Then when you find a winner, you increase budget and you repeat that process over and over and over again. Now, one final point I want to mention about this is to get to 100,000 a day, we only have 2 main desires in our ad account. 2. That's it. And that just goes to show you just how far a single one can take you. Okay? So I really want to stress that point because 80% of you just haven't done enough here. There's so many things you can do here. So make sure you focus on this first before moving to this, because this is way harder to do. It takes you longer, it takes more money, it takes more testing, it takes more time to find a new, big, broad desire that really works versus finding one to start, then really milking the shit out of it. So I hope you take it. I hope you use this. This is what has allowed us to scale to over $3.3 million in ad spend and build an 8-figure brand. And so if you want help directly from me to scale your brand and help you scale your Facebook ads, there's a link in the description of this video. You can click that. You can watch a video that explains the process and how we work. If you're interested, you can book a call with my team and my business partner to see if you're a good fit. If not, no worries. Either way, I hope you take this and really, really take a look at your ad account and apply it, because this has made the difference for us. I cannot stress that enough. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.